Hello, water signs, and welcome into your reading for the second half of May, where we'll be taking a look at jobs and career, love and relationship, and life path and mission. So right now we do still have the Pluto Retrograde happening. So that started on May 2nd, and that really has this kind of effect of slowing things down a little bit. We've had so much big energy with the eclipses and all of that. And even though Pluto's the great destroyer, with it going in retrograde, there's almost this sense of slowing down some of these big transitions and really being able to settle into what is this new pattern? What is this new, rhythm for you, and seeing, is that working, or is there still more that needs to be done there? All right, before we get into the reading, I'm going to pull a card here for all of the water signs, and this is from the Crystal Oracle deck to see if there's a specific crystal that you're being encouraged to work with in the second half of the month, and it also gives a little bit of few words of inspiration or wisdom here. All right, so we have pink tourmaline, compassion, clearing wounds, and restore. So this is, overall, this is going to be the energy. So if you have any pink tourmaline, I would encourage you to work with that during your meditation. But with this clearing wounds, it's what needs to be let go of, what needs to be, healed and then released, and how do you interact with compassion with those around you. All right, I'm going to start, and we'll take a look at the collective in general, and then I'll go sign grouping by sign grouping and pull some additional clarifying cards. A few things that we have going on in the second half of the month. On the 20th, we have the sun entering Gemini. And so we're coming up on Gemini season here, and Gemini is all about communication. So the next month, it'll be having more, just a little bit more of an active mind and putting together some of your short-term plans. So keep busy and keep engaged with your friends and with your surroundings. And this is kind of starting to get some of those ideas in order about where it is that you want to go. All right, let's take a look. Job and career. What we have happening for our water signs. In the recent past, we've had this Four of Wands energy, currently sitting in Queen of Pentacles in reverse energy, and then the next level of energy coming in is the Star. So in the recent past here with the Four of Wands, you've been sitting in this kind of celebratory, joyful type of energy. If you're on a twin flame journey, the Four of Wands is a twin flame card. Currently sitting this Queen of Pentacles energy, it's a little bit of this like selfish energy. And with that, because of everything else that's happening, and we'll have to see how this plays out for each individual sign. Normally there's, some negative connotations with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, like that it's kind of this like greedy, selfish energy, but it could also be that you're just wanting to hold all of that in to yourself. Like things have been going well at work, and you're in one of those phases of, rather than pouring all of this back out to other people, I want to hold it close. The next level of energy coming in with the Star, since that's this optimism and kind of like wishful type of energy, some of you may be in a situation where you've been holding things to yourself, like things have been going well, and you're trying to build on that. You're trying to use this good experience as a springboard into something bigger. So rather than taking that energy and pushing it back out to everybody around you, you're holding it in so that you can like catapult yourself to the next level. But we'll take a look individually at each of the sign groupings and see, or each of the individual signs, and see how that plays out in a little bit more detail. A couple other things happening this month on the 23rd. That's going to be a big day. We have the Sagittarius Full Moon. And remember, full moons are about releasing what no longer serves you. This Sagittarius Full Moon, you're going to be more passionate during this time about your beliefs and about kind of defending yourself to some extent. And this is going to be a matter of releasing things that are no longer serving you. Like if you have people that you, or situations that you're constantly butting heads with because their belief systems are not matching up with yours, this might be a time to be releasing them. This is going to be, a Sagittarius full moon is thinking big picture. And so it's kind of that idea of why are you clinging to something that isn't really enhancing your life? It's just creating more friction. Also that same day on the 23rd, we have Venus entering Gemini. So Venus is the planet of love, and then Gemini is all about communication. So that's going to be a time about connecting with others and expressing yourself and really opening up from a communication standpoint. All right, with love and relationships, in the recent past, we've had the Justice card currently sitting in the Six of Cups energy, and the next level of energy coming in is the Two of Swords in reverse. Now, with the Justice card, that's going to be all about things kind of being in balance. And there's this sense of equality. Sometimes there's, legal contracts. Maybe you've taken the next step. Maybe there's been kind of like marriage recently from a legal standpoint, moving in together, things like that. But it has this feeling of being fair and balanced and harmonious. In the current energy with the Six of Cups energy, that's this comfort, this nostalgia, this tradition, and you could be feeling pretty good about that. So especially if justice was related to marriage, for example, like the marriage contract standpoint of it, you could be sitting in that kind of happy, peaceful energy there, like looking at hey, this is something, it's traditional, but it brings me comfort. It brings me that sense of home because it's something familiar. With our Two of Swords in reverse, there's a little bit of this confusion or indecision though. So we'll find out specifically for each sign what is causing the confusion, because it seems like things are going smoothly, nice and balanced, happy energy, and then the Two of Swords in reverse comes up. We'll ask Spirit for some clarification there for each of the individual signs and see what wants to come through. And then last but not least, in terms of things happening, on the 25th, we have Jupiter entering Gemini, and it's going to stay there for about the next year. This is a time where you're going to see benefits from your mind and your ideas and your plans. So whatever things you're putting into place here, that was like when the sun was entering Gemini on the 20th, as you start putting together your short-term plans, you'll see those starting to play out over the next year. You're also going to be in a position where you're absorbing a lot of knowledge. And, that's a growth type of energy, and expressing yourself openly and working on improving your communication. So that's going to be happening over the next year. Couple cards, and I guess just in general for your energy, and we'll leave these out since I hadn't started on Life Path and Mission yet. We have our Four of Swords in reverse energy, which is there is a little bit of an exhaustion, frustration type of energy. But then we also have our Knight of Swords energy, which is about opportunity and a little bit of like that impulsive, just go for it energy. So we'll see where that ends up coming into play for you, because sometimes when you hit a point where you're really tired and exhausted, if you feel like you've been spinning your wheels somewhere, it moves you more into that energy of, I'm tired of spinning my wheels. Let's just do it. Let's do it. So that's kind of that sense is coming through. All right, let's take a look at Life Path and Mission. In the recent past, we've had our Knight of Pentacles in reverse, currently sitting in Page of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the Queen of Cups energy. I'm wanting to say this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Pentacles in reverse energy came up for our earth signs. I think both of those came out together. And this is kind of this like lazy, both of these are kind of this lazy type of energy, with the Page of Pentacles having more of a sense of like a lack of direction. And this is a little bit over here with your Knight of Pentacles in reverse, a little bit more of like an irresponsible type of energy, just kind of like this dull, don't really know what to do. The next level of energy coming in though on your Life Path and Mission is this Queen of Cups energy, which is going to be about kindness and compassion. So that's, if you're tapping in here, maybe you do have some success working with the pink tourmaline, trying to tap into some of this compassion and restoring yourself. I would say this might be the line where you'll see some of this impulsive energy coming in, like you're just, with the Four of Swords in reverse, you're just exhausted. You're tired of sitting in this lazy energy and not really knowing your direction. So if some opportunity does come across your plate, it might be like, all right, let's go for it. Let's just do it. All right, that is the energy in general for our water signs. And now we'll go sign by sign. So we will start today with Cancer, and we will see what message wants to come through for you. All right, we will take a look first at jobs and careers. So for Cancer, in the general level, we had that sense of things going well from a job standpoint, that you had that kind of celebratory energy at work, and you were wanting to keep some of that to yourself and maybe kind of platforming into something new. So what is it that Cancer needs to know about this something new that they're hoping for? Three of Pentacles. This is also for some a twin flame card, because you have your 3 Pentacles, and this is about twins getting on mission. So if you are on a twin flame journey, it looks like it is tied for Cancer very much with your job, because this is divine masculine, divine feminine, and spirit all coming together to keep you on mission. What is it that Cancer doesn't see coming? What do you need to be thinking about? What do you not see coming as it relates to some of this job situation? Feeling locked out of your blessings. So this one has to do with struggling, and there might be some hardship. So if you're feeling like things have been going well and you're moving into something new, because the Star card is about hope and optimism. So if you're doing something new, there might be some struggles that you are not anticipating. What can Cancer do to help mitigate those struggles? What should they be prepared to do to help with that? A fresh new path. So that's going to be a new beginning. If you were thinking that you could do whatever this new idea, this hope, if you were thinking you could do that in your current job, that might not be the case. Coming together on mission with your twin involves taking a leap of faith, and this might be a matter of you're starting your own business together. You're doing something kind of totally different. It could be also a side business, so it's not necessarily like, oh, quit your main job and go do something else. It might be a side business, but if you can start this new path and really come together, then that will help you feel like you're not being locked out of your blessings. All right, now let's take a look at love and relationships for Cancer. Things had been balanced here, and then all of a sudden now there's this decision where you feel like there's some confusion. So Spirit, talk to us about what is this confusion for Cancer? The King of Swords in reverse, and that's about kind of this coldness or weakness. And let's pull one more. And then Knight of Swords in reverse. And that's about some missed opportunities and some, I guess, maybe lack of focus. This card in the upright, of all of the knights, he's the one he's going charging in, and when it's in the reverse position, this sense of like a lack of focus. It's almost more of that let's go, but you don't really know where you're going. And it's interesting because when you look at the reading down here, it's a lot of Pentacles energy, Page of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Pentacles are about your resources. So your resources kind of being a little bit out of balance here. And then with your Knight of Swords, King of Swords in reverse, it's also that sense of, your swords are your thoughts. And so there's kind of this, your thoughts are maybe out of balance, out of harmony. And are there wounds that need to be cleared in relation to that whether this is you or whether this is your partner, there is this energy of, kind of this cold energy, and you've missed some opportunities. So things were sitting in a good place. So that's what this decision is. What triggered it? Let's see if we can get any further clarification. Like, what triggered that shift from being in that kind of like nostalgic, traditional, comfortable place? What triggered this coldness? Let's see if there's anything in there. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And this again is about a missed opportunity. So maybe there was a failed investment. There was some opportunity for things to move forwards, like something new that you could do together. And with this, with your Knight of Pentacles, or I'm sorry, your Knight of Swords in reverse, having that sense of missed opportunities, that this is something that was maybe important to one of you, but not the other. So the opportunity was missed, and it kind of is creating a little bit of, this coldness or cruelty, that it's almost like it's creating distance. Like, it was important to one of you that, oh, we should really do this, and you didn't. And so now it's kind of at this decision point. And I wouldn't necessarily say that it's crossroads, like, oh, does this mean we should be done because we missed this opportunity? But it's like, okay, do you let that opportunity go? Do you try to backpedal and fill in that opportunity? So let's get a couple messages from your person. So this is what's going on with your person, kind of in their heart. What are they thinking? What are they feeling? Okay, so those two stuck together. You bring out the best in me, and can you forgive me? The missed opportunity might be that they missed an opportunity to do something nice for you in this can you forgive me. If it was something like your anniversary, and they missed showing up for you the way you wanted them to, or you were going through some sort of a tough time and they missed the opportunity to be there for you. They were distracted doing something else, and they're wanting your forgiveness. They really do have strong feelings for you, and you're bringing out the best in them, and they didn't mean to miss that opportunity. So that's just a little bit of context there as to what's going on. But yeah, it looks like there was maybe an opportunity for you to come together in some meaningful way. And then if they're asking for the forgiveness, that I guess that indecision is, do I forgive them? Do I let them off the hook type of thing? Or do we have more serious discussions about that? And with this energy of like, you're just kind of exhausted, and then there's this, yeah, let's go for it energy. That may have been playing in here, that there was an opportunity to get away, like a vacation. Yeah, let's go for it. And they're like, no, let's not, let's not do that right now. And you may have had that impulsive energy of, let's just go for it. And they were kind of dragging their feet a little bit, maybe. All right, let's take a look at life path and mission. Like we talked about in the general reading, there is a lot of this lazy energy coming up in the past for water signs in general. So we're going to see for Cancer, what is happening between these water signs and then this Queen of Cups energy, because this is this kindness, this compassion. So what spurs Cancer to shift out of that lazy energy into this kindness and compassion? Wheel of Fortune. So it's destined and fated. But what else can we get there? King of Cups in reverse. There's a sense of like worry and stress and manipulation that kind of forces you into that space. And you might be getting worried about, okay, well, if I sit here in this energy of indecision for too long, this is going to be bad. Hey, and so you're tapping into this, I know I'm tired, but let's just go for it. And that's going to be destined and fated. That's one of the big things on your path, is that you needed to hit this level of, no, I just don't care, because you needed to get there in order to be pushed into the new into whatever this new phase is for you. And actually on here, let's just pull one more card. What does this new mission and purpose look like? So we had the Queen of Cups, that kindness and compassion. What else about this? Then we have the High Priestess. So it's something related to your inner wisdom, your higher consciousness, that divine feminine energy. You might be tapping into some of your gifts, and that will bring out that compassionate energy. Maybe you're being called to be a healer, and that's, when you're called into your gifts like that, that is a major life event, and sometimes it takes a big build up to it. You get to that point of enough is enough with this other energy, and so it really kind of can kickstart you into something new. And sometimes that lazy energy is necessary when you're clearing your wounds as well. So work through your fears and have faith in your dreams. I would say that, especially as you're looking at coming online here, maybe with your mission, with your twin, what does that look like? And having that faith in your dreams as you're looking at taking that next leap of faith, that step forward. And then we will pull a couple of these oracle cards. And then even with this, like the working through your fears, when you get to a decision point about how do you respond to to this energy that's come in, how do you respond to these missed opportunities? How releasing your fears is going to be kind of key, and that's what happens. Anytime we have a full moon, it's about releasing that negativity, releasing what's no longer serving you. So how are your fears serving you? As you work through them, that's clearing those wounds. All right, let's pull a couple of these for Cancer. We have denial, and we have imagination. Imagination, I would say, kind of flowing in through here, whatever this new leap of faith is from a job perspective, but then also tying that in with your inner wisdom, your higher consciousness. And then denial, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. That is also going to come into play as you're tapping into that inner wisdom and that higher consciousness. Is you're in tune with your intuition and your insight and your awareness, rather than pushing those thoughts and fear, or rather than pushing down some of your gifts and, oh no, that's not really for me. Leaning in and embracing it. So Cancer, I hope that this has been helpful for you, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest. I will be doing some additional readings this week in terms of like is this your person, pick a pile, twin flames. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when those videos post. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey, Cancer. Until next time. All right, welcome in, Scorpio. Let's take a look and see what additional specific energies want to come in for you for the second half of May. As we look at the job and career line, remember this was where you were sitting in this good, happy, kind of celebratory place at work, wanting to hold on to that energy yourself and funnel it into whatever you have going on in terms of this star energy, this hope, this optimism. Maybe you're planning to do something different at work and kind of breaking out. So let's take a look and see for Scorpio, what is this star energy about? What is going on work-wise that's giving that star energy coming in for Scorpio? 10 of Cups, you are being led to or drawn to whatever this perfect scenario is. So you already are sitting in this celebratory energy. This 10 of Cups is like this ultimate happiness. You've gotten everything that you wanted. So you're building on that, and that's what you're moving towards. What is it that you need to be aware of? I'm almost getting, what do you need to be careful of as you look at moving in that direction? What do you need to be careful of, Scorpio? be careful of, oh, and this, so the Six of Wands is about victory and praise and acclaim. And, I was kind of going back and forth in my mind between the what is it that you don't see coming, and then what do you need to be careful of. So those two phrases were kind of bouncing back and forth in my head almost interchangeably. But I would say when you're going down this path, because it looks like everything is lining up wonderfully for you, Scorpio, from a job and career standpoint, because of the fact that it was kind of teetering between what is it that you don't see coming and what is it that you need to be careful of. With the Six of Wands is just to make sure that if you're trying to sit in this energy of peace, when you start to get success and like public praise and victory and all of that, make sure that you don't let it go too much to your head, to where it might end up almost like pushing into an air of like arrogance or ego, like that sort of thing. But overall, this is looking very, very good for you, Scorpio, in terms of the job perspective. So whatever this new project, new course that you're working towards and that you're hoping for, and all of that, it looks like that is coming together nicely for you. All right, then since that's looking pretty good, let's go ahead and jump down to love and relationships. And from the general reading, what we had was sitting in this nice balanced energy, or kind of in that nostalgic, traditional, comfortable, homey type of feel. But then we have this indecision coming up. So for Scorpio, what is this indecision about? What is this two paths or this confusion about? Talk to us about that. King of Pentacles and Nine of Cups. So your King of Pentacles energy is going to be this reliable, like this stable, prosperous energy. And then your Nine of Cups is also about achievement. So there's a little bit of for whatever reason, there's a sense of indecision or confusion about that. Why is, maybe this is a better way to ask it. Here, let's look over here. What is it that your person is really feeling? Maybe that will shed some light as to why there's a sense of confusion. What is it that your person wishes they could tell you? What are they feeling? I love you, but I'm scared of my feelings. And I need some space right now. So things are going well, and it's almost like for your partner, they're going too well, and so they're scared of their feelings and they're looking for a little bit of space. And that is what that decision point is, that everything is going so well. And, in terms of, what was happening that led to this decision point, things are just going so well that it's almost like it's freaking out your partner a little bit. So your decision point there about what do I do? I'm not quite sure what to do, is how do I handle this? It's like, do you want me to get mad at you? Do you want me to pick a fight with you to make this feel better? Okay. So you're kind of sitting there scratching your head like, I don't know how to respond that, okay, this is going too well. So with this, let's pull a card actually from over here. What does our Scorpio, like, what is Spirit's advice on how to handle this then? All right. We have our King of Wands in reverse, and that's a little bit of this impulsive bullying type of energy. So I would say not so much a bullying type of energy. You are still in this overall energy of like compassion and clearing wounds, but I would say, even though normally that has that like bullying type of energy to the King of Wands, I would take it in a slightly different context of, if they're getting scared, almost like a standing your ground and, trying to help this person work through whatever some of their fears are. So from a compassion standpoint, there's the very female nurturing, oh, honey, it's okay, it's okay. And then there's also the more direct, firm, like, no, you're not going to hide from this because you are self-sabotaging. So both of them, it's trying to get the person to move through whatever it is that they're trying to process, like, about being scared of their feelings. But one of them is this very soft, oh, honey, it's okay, just talk to me. And the other one is that very direct, like, no, you can't just self-sabotage because you think that things are too good to be true. So then you're just going to sit here and blow this up, so that I would say this King of Wands in reverse is saying, the softer approach is maybe not what's going to help get this person to work on their healing issues of being scared about their feelings. Let's pull a timing card to see when it looks like your person comes out of their headspace there with that, because that can be a very frustrating energy to be in. Once you can forgive them. So that could be, you might be holding on to something, and if there has been some sort of an argument or something in the past, and you're like, no, it's fine. No, it's fine. If you haven't really forgiven them, but you're saying that you do because that's what you're expected to do, like, in your heart, forgiving them for being, maybe scared of their feelings. So something to be mindful of, but, lots of conversations, especially with Venus entering Gemini on the 23rd, and just connecting with others and opening up and really working on how to express yourself and kind of how to bridge that gap. All right. Oh, I guess with those, I wasn't doing it like that. Down on the life path and mission line. So there had been some of that lazy energy, just not really sure what to do. And then your next level of energy coming in with your Queen of Cups is that kindness and compassion. We also have our Page of Pentacles then in the upright for you, Scorpio. And in the upright, that's going to be about this loyal, consistent, like ambitious type of energy. So what else is needed to push from this lazy energy into this compassionate energy? What else do we need? So we need Ace of Cups in reverse is there's some creative blocks and feeling unloved. So you have to be able to push through those creative blocks to sit in that energy. But let's see, what else do we need to know about this? So if you are sitting in that lazy energy, you're going to have to show up with some consistency here and really wanting to work through it and wanting to identify, where are you feeling unloved? Where are some of those blocks? What else does Scorpio need to know about how to transition into this Queen of Cups energy? And then we have Knight of Cups, and that's going to be this sense of like negotiation. So with all the knights, this one has, when you look at him, he's just kind of got that head up here. I have the solution. So it's working on how do you come up with the middle point between having this lazy energy and having this like loyal, ambitious energy. How do you work your way out of that? Let's pull a few other oracle cards and see what all messages want to come in to help support our Scorpios for the second half of the month. All right, take time to breathe out. I would say especially here, if you're getting frustrated because it seems like they're self-sabotaging, and then a new start is coming. I would say it looks like a new start. Actually, a new start can kind of go anywhere in this mix. That if you're trying to push out of this lazy energy, a new start's coming, and you're going to be filled with a more compassionate energy. Some of you might be getting called into some of your spiritual gifts. All right, this one jumped. So we have trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And success. I know that there's no greater goal than to love. And so bringing love into the equation, but trust that your inner voice is going to help guide you in terms of how to navigate, these situations to bring you to your highest good. So, Scorpio, I hope that you found today's message to be helpful, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. I will be doing some additional readings like the Is This Your Person reading, Pick a Pile, Twin Flame. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when those videos post. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time, Scorpio. All right, Pisces, let's take a look and see what all energies want to come in for Pisces. Specifically, as we kind of piggyback on what the message was for the collective. All right, Pisces. So we will start with our job and career standpoint. And from the general reading we had, remember, it was this energy of it was like this celebration and joy. And then there was this little bit of a sense of wanting to hold that in from a little bit of that like selfishness, but it's more so coming across that you're wanting to hold that in for yourself because you're hoping for something. Like there's this sense of optimism. So the star, it's like when you wish upon a star, like you're trying to create something bigger out of it, and you need to retain all that energy. We had the Magician jump as one of your cards in general. I had started talking about work, but also just in general for you, Pisces, for the second half of the month is how do you transmute some of these energies? So Spirit, talk to us a little bit about with this star, with this new wish that is coming through. Like what is it that Pisces is wishing for or trying to work towards here? We have Page of Swords, and then we have Queen of Wands in reverse. So Page of Swords is going to be, you're in that kind of planning stage, and you're curious about what are some of your different options. But then we also have, again, a little bit of this like selfish energy. So you're wanting to do something that's you. I will say it's not necessarily coming across in a poor way about like, oh, you're just being so selfish and ruthless. It's almost more like, I've had some of this success, this community, this family type of success, like where you're part of a successful team, but then that's also giving you some of those thoughts of, but I want to be able to have something that's mine, like creating something of your own. Maybe it's starting your own business. So you've kind of gotten into this planning and curiosity, but it's like you want that to be your thing. So you have Queen of Wands in reverse, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So it's a little bit of that shift of, instead of this being about, oh, how can I be warm and fuzzy and supporting everybody else? It's more like, how can I do something for me? How can I sit in my energy of what's important to me? How do I want to direct things to go from a job standpoint? What is it that you don't see coming? So for Pisces, what do you not see coming with this job path that you're thinking about? That is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So what you don't see coming is maybe something, in the upright, it's about having your honed skills, and in the reverse, sometimes it's a matter of laziness, but sometimes it's also a matter of lacking the skills. So I think there's some things that you maybe need to learn about more before, if you are looking at going out on your own. In the past, you've been successful because you're part of a team. Well, everybody brings something different to the table. So make sure that before you step out onto your own and do something, acknowledging when you were a part of this successful team over here and having that community feel, what were some of the things that the other people brought to the table that were things that you didn't have? So not to say, oh, you weren't good at your job, but on a team, everybody has certain strengths that they're bringing to the table. And you would do well to look at what were the strengths that the other people were bringing, because that might be an area that you need to beef up before you start something totally on your own. So that is what we have for jobs and careers for Pisces. Let's take a look at relationships. So for the relationship line at the general level for our water signs, we had justice, which is kind of that, fair and balanced type of energy, and also sitting in this is just so cute. Just the little look on this dog's face here, this nostalgic, this happy, comfortable, like tradition. But then you have this choice coming up. So Spirit, talk to us about this choice. Like, what is this choice that Pisces feels like they need to make? All right, so this choice is about Three of Wands, which is travel and some freedom and some personal growth. So you're feeling this warm and fuzzy, but there's kind of that little bit of that call of, do I want to have a little bit more freedom? Do I want to grow? Like, even though this has this warm, like nostalgic feel, is it really pushing me to grow? What is it that Pisces doesn't see coming? Strength in reverse. Your strength in reverse card, that's a little bit of this lack of courage and some vulnerability there, that it's like you're trying to decide, do I want some of this freedom? Do I want to travel? Do I want to push myself to grow? But then it's like that sense of lacking the courage to do it, because that would make you very vulnerable if you're pushing and trying something new. When, if you're sitting in this, oh, well, this is the way things have always been, that kind of comfortable, traditional, nostalgic, you're sitting in a place where this is the way things have always been. And so there's a vulnerability when you take that step out. So that's what you're kind of balancing right now. And this is as it relates to relationships, remember. So you're deciding, like, have I outgrown this relationship, essentially, is kind of how it's coming across. Let's pull a couple cards from your person. What is your person thinking? Kind of what is on their mind? This, I'm planning a future with you. This card's come out quite a bit, and I hope we can be together someday. So they're wanting to plan a future, but then you're sitting in this energy of, is this relationship really letting me grow, or do I want more freedom? So their heart, I would say, is more in this energy here, like, hey, things are going well. And for you, then it's going to be a matter of, you need to make the decision of, do you want the stable, reliable, secure type of energy that they're providing, or do you want to, take that risk, be vulnerable and say, I really want something a little different. So with this freedom and growth, that could be, that could either be you want something, like you want a different relationship, like not with this person, or that you want to push this relationship to grow in a way that you're kind of a little bit scared that, is your partner going to agree with that? Are they going to rise up to that? Or are they going to say, no, I really just want to keep it the way it is right now? So that's that big decision that you're weighing on. But, how do you transmute some of that energy? How do you transform some of those feelings? And if it's something that's really important to you, then finding that strength. How do you turn that weakness or vulnerability into strength? All right, Pisces, let's take a look at life path and mission. From the general reading, we had that there was kind of this energy of, I guess, laziness that was coming out, and not really knowing what to do with your life path. The next level of energy that's going to be coming in, though, is going to be this Queen of Cups energy, which is that kindness, compassion, that caring type of energy, which for some of you, it may be that you're getting called into some of your spiritual gifts to be a healer, things like that. But let's see, what is it that ends up pushing Pisces out of this lazy energy and into something new? The Lovers. This could be an actual person that's coming in that's kind of putting you on your life path. Oh, I guess more of the cards here is cut off than I thought. So it could be an actual person that's coming in. I would say also this card is Gemini. So Gemini season is right upon us now. We're going to kick into Gemini season on the 20th. So just about a week out. It could be an actual person. It could be that season that's going to kick you into a different energy. Remember, Gemini also has to do with a lot of communication. You might be meeting a Gemini from a relationship standpoint as well. Let's take a look and see with this Queen of Cups energy, what else is going along with this Queen of Cups energy from a life path perspective. What do our Pisces need to know? Then we have the Nine of Pentacles. That is going to be this independent, like kind of self-reliance energy, but it's also about the reward. So in this picture, this figure, they're getting that abundance. They have the bird landing on their hand, and it's kind of that, all is right. And so it looks like this is coming up, pretty quick from a timing standpoint, since, like I said, Gemini season is right upon us here. And you'll be shifting out of this kind of lazy energy of, I don't really know what to do. All right, let's pull a couple more oracle cards and see what else our Pisces need to know. And with this as well, if this is a new person that's coming in on your life path, from the standpoint of the Lovers card is also a card about a decision that needs to be made. And you might be, as different pieces of your life are obviously going to weave together. It's not like everything is so compartmentalized that, my job has nothing to do with my mission. My relationship has nothing to do with my job or nothing to do with my mission. And so if you're sitting here with this energy of, I have a decision to make. Do I want this freedom? Do I want this growth? This new person coming in could represent that freedom and growth for you. And then you're in this energy of, okay, am I really satisfied with this? Yes, things seem kind of balanced, and this has this feeling of, is it a relationship that you've outgrown? So yes, the person cares about you, but it's almost like, is this a high school romance that has gone on, and now you're in your 30s and you're sitting here going, yeah, that's sweet, but that's just not big enough. Like, it's not big picture enough. Like, from a growth standpoint, I still feel like this relationship is a, high school sweetheart relationship. It hasn't grown. It hasn't matured. And somebody else comes in and gives you that sense of, wait, but there's more growth that can happen here. Your commitment is being tested. Now with this, and I always think that's an interesting card that comes out. It's kind of like you might be getting tempted. And so it's not like it's the universe tricking you, but your commitment to staying still is being tested. So if you're already feeling like, is that really what I want? If a new option comes in, your commitment's being tested here. And don't take this card as being, the universe is trying to be sly or coy with you, and they're trying to set you up to fail this test. It's not that. It's a matter of making you sit there and really reflect on, why are you in a situation? At work, we always used to say that the worst answer you can give for why do you do something why do we do this the way we do it is, we've always done it that way. That's like we would say at work, that is the worst answer you can give. Just because you've always done it that way, it doesn't mean that that's the right way to do it. So it's not to say that at one point in time when it was decided that that was the way to do it, it's not to say that was the wrong decision at that time based on the information we had at work and based on the current lay of the land, and what was going on in the industry, that might have been 100% the appropriate thing to do, but that doesn't mean that it continues to 100% be the appropriate thing to do. And the same here. So this sense of like comfort and nostalgia and tradition, just because that relationship was right for you in high school, if we're talking about high school sweetheart situation, just because it was right for you in high school doesn't mean that it's right for you in your 30s. Doesn't mean it's right for you in your 20s. It was right for you at that period in time. So your commitment is being tested. Like, are you staying true to yourself and what you want? And with compassion, things don't have to be nasty if that's not what you want. But there's a compassionate way to, I guess they call it conscious uncoupling, if you're moving in a different direction. And then we also have communication is key. So new moon in Gemini. Again, timing wise, Gemini, that's coming up. This is a decision that you're probably going to have to be making, or something you're going to have to be focusing on coming up here soon. And like I said, it may involve a person who is a Gemini, or it could just be, kind of happening in Gemini time. But a lot of it is communication, and being true to yourself. All right, let's pull a couple more cards here. Then we have freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness, and indecision. So, oh my gosh, those are like exactly what some of these cards are representing. This is representing freedom. This is representing indecision. So this really is creating a lot of angst for you and creating probably a lot of sleepless nights. Like, what do I do? Like the whole thing of, from a compassionate standpoint, feeling like, oh, but if this person, if this partner of mine is wanting to, they're planning a future with me, they want to be together with me, like they really want this relationship, but it just doesn't feel right. So this is that indecision of, it breaks, it breaks my heart type of scenario. And I remember, having that thought, or, having had those conversations before with friends and family, like, I know it will break their heart if I leave, but it's breaking mine to stay. And it's that sense of indecision, that sense of, what do I do? And, a lot of, it's going to take a lot of meditation, soul searching, get out in nature as best you can. Try to clear your head, because you do need to live a life true to yourself. That was from that Top 5 Regrets of the Dying book. I'm not all the way through it, but I love the points in there. This was a woman, Bronnie Ware, who had worked in end of life care for people. And so she wrote it, it's kind of like memoir style, but here's the top 5 things that people were regretting on their deathbed. And number 1 was, I wish I had lived a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. I wish I'd let myself be happier. I wish I'd had the courage to say how I really felt. I wish I wouldn't have worked so hard. And I wish I'd stayed in better touch with my friends. So those big ones there of living a life true to yourself, not the life others expect of you. And, I wish I had let myself be happier. So make sure that the decisions, if you're at that point where you have a decision that needs to be made, make sure that you're looking at your own happiness. Like 50 years from now, what are you going to look back on and say about this time period in your life? So that is the message that's coming through for Pisces. I will be doing some additional readings this week on twin flames and is this your person, and pick a pile. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when those new videos post to the channel. But I do wish you peace and joy along your journey. Hopefully you'll be able to get some good time to really kind of think about what it is that you want for this next phase in your life going forwards, and can find some peace with that. So until next time.